Shout out. The Connects. Luis Guzman. Don't ever go, never leave my side. Passion's all I have, courage is my drive. And if I lost you, I would lose it all together. I wouldn't have composure to get it back together. I don't know.
Welcome to another episode of I'm an Artist, Not a Salesman podcast, where we highlight the journey of entrepreneurs and business people alike to showcase that every light and dark moment creates a beautiful piece of art. And this is episode 14. I am your host, Luis Guzman. I have a special guest in the building today. We are doing our first remote podcast from the famed beautiful Garden Lounge in Elizabeth, New Jersey. And I am sitting here with the owner himself, a visionary, entrepreneur, a man that gives back to the community, a man that is a creative, and I am so excited to hear his story. I am talking about Julian Valencia. Welcome to the show, Julian.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for being here, man. So I ask everybody on the show my first question. Who is Julian Valencia?
Julian Valencia. So Julian Valencia is a little visionary. It's a little kid that he came from Colombia. You know, I've been in the States around 14 years.
Okay.
And he's been somebody that he actually wants to grow and show our culture to the world and to the people around, you know.
I understand. And you're doing that right now. We're gonna get into all that. So you were born in Colombia.
I was born in Colombia. Yeah.
Tell me the story how you transitioned from born in Colombia to ending up here in New Jersey.
So, you know, I was born and raised in Colombia. I came to the States when I was around 16 years old.
16?
Yeah.
Okay.
And, you know, I started going to school. I went to Rutgers University.
Nice.
I graduated from Rutgers.
Beautiful, man.
Then, you know, when I was going to school, the only thing that you can actually find was either a waiter or a job as a bartender, while you're actually going to school. Then I fell in love with it. And, you know, that's how I started getting involved in this type of businesses, basically.
It's like the service industry, right?
Yes,
that's what you
hospitality, yeah.
Now, is your degree in business?
I actually did international business, yes.
Okay, so that's what you have your degree in, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, you can tell from all the businesses you've helped build, so this is a good thing. And the whole business thing, right? Who instilled that in you? Was it your mother? Was it your father?
I think that, you know, it was between, you know, all the partners that I have today, between, you know, Eddie G and all these guys that I always see doing incredible things, you know, Coco Bongo times, you know, show times where, you know, when you see those things, and I always loved the hospitality part. So I always, you know, I admire Eddie and everything that he did. So I always wanted to be doing what he does, you know.
Right.
Even though I actually love the restaurant side more than the nightlife, due to the fact that that's pretty much my forte, which is the restaurant side. Yeah.
Right? Got it. And how did that start in the restaurant business for you? So you're out of Rutgers University, looking for a job. You can't find a job with your major, right? So tell me that story. How did you end up with your first job in the restaurant business?
So I used to work at a local place called Station House nearby.
Oh, I know what that is. Yeah, down the street.
I used to be a bartender in Station House.
Get out.
And Eddie used to have a place called Cafe, which is where Chupitos is today.
Yes.
Then I remember one time I didn't make enough money and I went there and, you know, I started talking to Ed. I was like, listen, I really want to do a paper about you. I want to interview you.
Just like
that way, I actually started knowing the fucking guy. But that was all BS, you know.
Right.
Next thing that I know, 7 years later, we become partners, you know.
Wow. So
that's how I started.
So you're talking about a waiter at Station House, started a conversation with an entrepreneur. I want to do a paper with you. And that turned into a partnership 7 years later.
Partnership, yeah.
Holy cow, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, man.
And now you're, you know, obviously inspiring other young entrepreneurs, which is a beautiful thing, you know, with all your businesses. But I want to go back to Colombia for a minute. Was your mother a business person? Was your father? No. Were you born? Did you have your father in your life?
No.
Your mother?
It was, you know, they were, you know, my mother and my father. They never been, you know, a businessman. They always, you know, had their own little thing in Colombia, but never was in the hospitality business, never was in the nightlife business, none of that, you know.
What did they do for a living? What was their...
So my dad used to be a baker.
Oh, okay.
A Colombian baker. You know, he used to have a Colombian bakery back, you know, back then.
Right.
Then my mother always was the housekeeping, wife type of standard.
Manteniendo la casa, all that stuff. I got you, man. So do you think you draw more from your father?
I think so, though. I mean, I guess, I don't know, you learn.
You learn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're the spirit in you, once you left business school, it came when you met Eddie, or was it before that? Like the entrepreneur.
I think in the process of going to school and getting to know a lot of people in the States, I guess that, once again, the only job that you can really find, while you're going to school is either a bartender or a waiter. And I think the hospitality back then is it was different,
Yes.
And I fell in love with it. I actually fell in love with hospitality, and I really love what I do.
Beautiful, man. And I mean, again, you can see from everything you've done. So walk me through this. You meet Eddie G. I want to write a paper for you. What happens next? How did you and him cultivate this partnership?
One day, I was at the right time, at the right moment. Then one of the guys, one of the old friends approached us to go see Perkins back in the days, where Lobby is today.
Yes. Absolutely.
That's how Lobby becomes to life, basically.
Really? So was that your first business venture?
That was my first business venture, yeah.
I see. So before Lobby, you didn't have a business. So how was that transition for you to go from a waiter to starting your own business with partners?
Incredible.
Was it difficult?
Incredible. It was difficult, a lot of work, but it was incredible because of the partnership that I have. We're a family, and then I had learned, thanks to them, I'm here today.
Right.
They guide me, they teach me, they put me out there.
Now you're saying they, so I know you have Eddie, but who else is in that circle that helped you out?
Edwin, Terry, a lot of people that is in our circle, people that actually guide me to become who I am today.
Understood, man. So you always, like I said, you are an entrepreneur in spirit, but you had good people around you
100%.
that guided you, right? We spoke about this before the cameras came on. You were emphasizing how important it was to have a team around you. So how important, you have a team that helped you get to where you're at. But now that you're in the chair and you're guiding people, how important is that to have that team? Without
a team, you got nothing. Without people that believe in you, you got no business to begin with. Without being that person that is going to inspire the people that work with you, not for you, because we're a family. Nobody really works for me. We work with each other. We complement each other in order to grow. When you start getting to that mentality where you think you're the boss or you think you're the shit, and you don't care about the people that is in the back washing dishes, and you don't care about the people that is doing pre-cook or the kitchen guys, which is the main heart of the business.
That's the money makers, yeah.
That's when you run. At the end of the day, yeah, it's good to have places, nightclubs, restaurants, but the beauty of it is if you don't have the right team and the right infrastructure, you got nothing.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. And the leadership part, because you are a leader. So you being a leader and knowing your people, but not just knowing, but caring, that's what makes people want to work, and that's what makes people want to care about your businesses. Does that make sense?
The priority of everything is that you got to have loyalty around you. If you don't have that loyalty around you, nowadays it's even harder to hire people. But if you have people that is loyal to you, you're always going to have a succeed business because it's going to become consistent. It's going to have, that energy or that chemistry along the people that works with you,
Absolutely, man. And that brings me to my next question. How does it feel for you to provide opportunity and jobs for people in your community?
It's incredible. It's incredible to see that there is a lot of people around from local people that I know since I was a kid that now they work in my infrastructure or in my organization. It's really, 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 really nice to see that we have making an impact in our city. That the people that surround even here on mixology, when we see it's a lot of people that I grew up with, now that they actually work with my organization is really nice,
Absolutely, man. And you said mixology. I want to talk about that for a little bit because this is your newest venture in the service industry, in the nightlife industry. So you are bringing Mexico Tulum to Elizabeth, New Jersey. What is the inspiration to bring Mexican-inspired nightlife culture to Elizabeth?
So one of my favorite cities to visit is Mexico. I love the Mexico culture, And as Latino, we all like mariachis, we all like banda, we all like tacos. It's pretty much, who doesn't like a taco, However, we're trying to accomplish something where it's more, live mariachis, great food, great cocktails, great, he's going to have a ceviche bar, guacamole bar that you can actually come and hang out with a girl.
Wow.
And then, they're going to give you an experience, It's going to be an experience the whole place around,
Well, let me ask you this. What the heck is a guacamole bar? Because I'm interested.
So a guacamole bar is we build it as a bar, but all they do there is different guacamoles, different salads. You sit there and they give you a whole experience.
Wow.
But however, you're going to see the whole process being made, while you're sitting in the whole restaurant.
From beginning to end with guacamole. And you said there was also a ceviche bar.
Ceviche bar, yeah.
My wife loves guacamole and ceviche, so I will be there the first week it opens with her. Save me a seat.
Done.
So that ceviche bar, again, is that groundbreaking, or is that something that people are already doing?
So, and in New York City or all these higher-end Mexican restaurants, it's really popular to have a guacamole or a ceviche bar. Not 90% of the things that we actually do, it was that we love to bring New York City, service through Elizabeth. We love to have quality of food, quality of drinks, great service. We really try to keep up with the higher service, make sure that anytime that you walk into any other establishment, we give you the right, service, the right ambience, the right, warm feeling, so you can actually come back anytime that we're in, or anytime that we open something nice, or something new. At least you will know that that's the service that you're actually going to have in any other location that we have.
I agree, because I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm going to name some companies that you're involved with. Mm-hmm. The Lobby.
Yes.
The Garden.
Yes.
Fonda La Chimosa.
Miami,
which is in Miami, made in DR Wynwood. Hornitos.
Yeah, Hornitos Patterson.
I think the one common thread with all those places and now Mixology, is you're building a brand. And what I mean by that is every of those places you go to, you're going to have high quality service, high quality food. Is that your vision with all the places?
The whole purpose is that we want to make sure that the quality is there, that anytime that you have a drink in any or establishment is, top of the line. We sell premium, we sell quality. We want to make sure that anytime that, even though it's a regular pricing, I want to make sure that I give the clientele that premium step,
Now, is there a way to offer premium and still offer prices that are convenient for those that, like, I'm gonna say for, go ahead.
150%,
How does that work? How do you make that happen?
So what happens is that, it really depends on how you run your business. The way that I run my particular business is that I like to give premium, even though you're paying the same amount of, same price that everybody else has it. I really want to give premium in everything that I sell to the clients,
Understood, man. And it comes through in every part of your service, from the food to the drinks to the waiters. Everybody takes a lot of pride in what they offer here, not just in the Garden, but I'm sure with Mixology when it opens and the Lobby. That brand, that trend that you actually have, it's a beautiful thing. And it comes again from your entrepreneurship and the business minds that you keep around you. So I'm curious to know, Julian, the Garden Group, right? How was that started? What is that? I'm curious.
So the Garden Group, it's been a dream for many years, and it was a dream to do few different restaurateurs. Now we're doing Garden New York, we're doing Monopoly, which is a burger place in here in the city of Elizabeth, and then we have a lot of other things coming soon.
Can't say nothing yet, right?
But the Garden Group was something where it's me and my partner. I was like, listen, let's just start getting as a group, and let's just start acquiring different locations. Let's start getting creative, with different teams that people like, But let's just standardize ourselves in a different higher end scale. But we sell higher end scale in a way where everything that you see is just an experience. We just sell experience to the people. Everything is Instagrammable. Everything is female oriented. We really focus on the females, where they feel comfortable to come along, that they feel comfortable to be here, that they like the drinks. Everything is fruity. Everything is sexy for them.
Yes.
That's the whole Garden Group vibe. It's a female oriented organization.
Is that your demographic? 25-year-olds, 24, 40-year-olds? What's your demo?
So a little bit of everything. That's why we multicultural in a way where we actually open a little bit of everything. So it's not really a demographic. is an open format. Anybody and their mother can come through the garden. Anybody and their mother can come to mixology. It doesn't matter about what age. It doesn't matter what level of financials you have. We're still gonna treat you the same. You know.
It's still the same service. I love that, man. But the main group that comes, what do you think would say they are? The 20s
20, 25 to 35 around for the garden.
Gotcha.
I think mixology is gonna have a little more older,
more mature crowd.
Yeah.
And what about the lobby? Is that also like a mature?
The lobby is same thing. The lobby is 25, 35 around, yeah.
Okay, so they're on the same boat, right? All right, so let me ask you this, right? Because you're telling me about the garden group, you're telling me about all the businesses, and I'm just reaching here. Do you feel like, obviously the businesses are scalable, right? But is the ultimate goal to franchise? Or do you think that's going to kill the quality of the service?
No. I mean, I guess that's always the dream in any entrepreneur that he has a brand. However, I would like to branch out with my own, different brands. The whole garden group idea is pretty much bring, Las Vegas. Every time you go to Vegas, you see these quality restaurants. Miami, you bring, like the garden, for example. A lot of the ideas I brought it from Wynwood and Miami area. Mixology, Ciudad Mexico, Tulum. The burger joint is going to be a little bit of everything that I have seen that I like, So, that being said, I think that, I mean, franchise is always going to be nice, but I think we more, we want to spend within our culture, we want to do Jersey City. We want to do Patterson that we're already doing. Hoboken, I don't think so. I think Morristown better. Morristown is, a lot of Colombians. It's a big community up there.
Really?
They don't have much to do,
How about Westfield?
I love Westfield. Don't get me wrong. It's a great town. But I think that, with the concept that we have, we can really get creative to different, Now we're doing garden, New York, Staten Island. So we do go in through,
That's smart because that's the easy way to get to New York.
Yeah.
Who wants to go to Manhattan or Brooklyn? Where you just jump on the guy and you're right there, Staten Island,
there.
in
It's
15 minutes.
Yeah, 50 minutes away, around 20 minutes away.
It's like an extended Elizabeth.
Basically.
I love it. How did that idea come to fruition? Whose idea? How did this start?
So that's a great partnership. It's going to be a few key players in that venture. And we have a great location. It's, waterfront, city view, really nice.
Oh, wow.
And, one of my partners brought it to us, and then we love the location, and hopefully in 6 months we will be open.
Gotcha, man. Beautiful, man. I mean, so far, I am just impressed by sitting here with you and just picking your brain and seeing how you started all these businesses from just that conversation with Eddie G. And you built it into what this is today. What would you say to a young Colombian entrepreneur that is 22 years old and wants to get into this type of business?
The only thing that I would say, do not allow nobody to tell you that you can't. Wake up in the morning and chase that dream, because the sky's the limit, man. That's the bottom line. It's not about having wet dreams. It's about waking up every day and chase it. Absolutely. And the minute that somebody tells you can do it, find different ways and you will accomplish it. It's not easy though, because if it was easy, everybody would do it.
Absolutely,
but
man.
If you put your mindset into it, you will definitely make it happen.
Has anybody ever told you can't do something?
Oh, a lot of people.
Give me one story. Give me one story.
It's not about one story. A lot of people, when you're young and you don't have the credentials, a lot of people will doubt you. It's no, at the end of the day, if you don't believe in yourself, nobody will. And that's the bottom line. It's not about who make you. It's not about who give you the opportunity to grow. It's about what you're gonna do with it.
Understood, man. Yeah. Understood. And then now in your position where you are able to influence other people's lives, how do you handle that power?
Do you know what it is? It's really blessing that a lot of people in my surrounding, we want to make sure they grow with us. It's no organization is not about being greedy and just grow by ourselves. No, we want the whole organization or the people that is part of it to grow together, I have a great management team. I think my management team, Paco, Jose, the guys that they're coming in, they're incredible. And then as I always say to them, it's about growing together, because, 3-4 heads think more than one.
Absolutely, man. And that environment of family is important, because
it's untouchable.
as you said earlier, family is impenetrable. So you knowing that you're in charge, but you don't act like it, it leads collaboration where you guys can collab
and collab is one thing, but when you love what you do and then you make people feel special, they will love it as well.
Gotcha. Absolutely. And it gives them a sense of pride.
100%.
Excuse me, where they want to be invested in your business and want to grow within the business. You know, like you can have a dishwasher be a partner with you one day and open Monopoly too.
That's
never
the
know.
whole purpose. Yeah, that's the whole purpose, and God willing, that's gonna happen eventually. You know.
I have a feeling that you pay forward a lot. So, what do you do for the community here in Elizabeth? Do you do anything with the town?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah,
I love to do things with the kids, for the kids. We're really involved with the police department. We're really involved with the community. We want to make sure the city of Elizabeth grows, because this is the city that opens a lot of doors for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
A lot of people that is impact in this particular city, town, municipality has done really well, and a lot of people that I know, I love Elizabeth. Due to a father Elizabeth make us,
Absolutely, it's where you're from. I mean, you are a part of Elizabeth, and you're putting that back into the community. And like I said earlier, building jobs, building revenue, giving back to the place that showed you who you are. That's got to be a beautiful feeling.
Incredible.
Right?
And then changing the whole ethics, let's say. No, let's not call it ethics. The whole, I guess, prior to, a few years back in Elizabeth, it wasn't nobody doing mixology. It wasn't nobody doing quality food. It wasn't nobody doing Eddie did it in cafe. He's the one who actually started Pioneer Cafe, Orale, and all these places that he built. That he bring that, good food, quality, good drinks, quality, bottle service, ambience, DJs. Like he's the one who start that gimmick, and thanks to that, we were able to bring more chefs, more like celebrity chefs to come and start talking to us like, hey, listen, we really want to be part of Elizabeth. People that it does have multiple locations, they're being like, oh, listen, we really want to open a place in Elizabeth due to the fact that we know you guys are changing the town.
Absolutely. You're bringing some type of relevance to the town.
And the beauty of the city of Elizabeth is that the municipality itself will allow you to work. They understand, they're pro-business. They understand what we're trying to accomplish, and they're there to help,
They're not putting up red flags like, no, you can't do this. No, you can't. You work together within the community.
You got to make sure you do everything right, You got to make sure you do everything by the books.
Absolutely, man. But you're building that. And again, the takeaway is how ironic you give back to children. One day, one of those kids could be an entrepreneur, and you can show them the way.
100%.
Is that like the ultimate goal in this? Besides money, besides
it is. Like I always say to a lot of people, money is an illusion. You have it today, you don't have it tomorrow.
I like that.
When you enjoying the small things in life, like helping others, that's when you fulfill in life. Everything else is just a car. What a car will give you? Nothing.
Right.
What a watch will give you? Will give you happiness for sure, but when you help others, it's a God up there, man.
I heard you say that twice already. You said God willing. Are you a religious person?
No, 100%.
You put God in everything you do, as far as
150%.
Because without Him, there's nothing. Nothing.
I respect
here.
everybody's way of thinking. Everybody way of thinking about religion, because it's a hard topic to choose. But
yeah, we talk about it
I
a lot.
believe in God. I believe in God big time, and thanks to Him, my family is blessed. That's the main priority. My family. I do work for my family. That's pretty much my goal. To make sure all my family, they're okay.
Absolutely, and that's a big position to take, because a lot of responsibility. And I know your work-life balance is probably not easy, but that's one of my questions I have here. How does Julian, as a businessman, handle running businesses? And are you a father?
No.
Okay, so do you have a wife or?
I have a girlfriend.
All right, that's all right. It's okay. You were a little hesitant to say it, but it's okay. You got a girlfriend. So how do you handle businesses and spending time with your girlfriend, spending time with your family? How do you manage all of that? Because family pulls you everywhere. Oh, well, you got to come here, or I want to go here. So how do you handle all of that?
Do you know what it is? I think in life, everything is a leverage. Everything in life is in equilibrium. If you know how to have leverage yourself, and you put the right time, and whenever you put the time that you put into any company or anything that you do, if you put the right offer and you make it work, like those 3 hours that you put into it, you gotta make sure they work for you. Then you gotta have that stability where, like, after 5, listen, I'm shut down. There is no more work. Let's try to do something else.
Yes.
Sometimes a little hard here and there, and now there is in construction mood. It's kind of different, but usually what I try to do is, after 6, 7, I try to make sure that I change the chip. Otherwise, it will be impossible.
No, but that's a great practice because you need to decompress. So, and it happens to me a lot. I can be laying down in bed at 9:30. I get a text message. I get an email. Oh, we have a problem. Oh, we gotta do this. And it's, you want to answer, but if it's something that can wait for tomorrow, just do it tomorrow.
100%.
And don't lose yourself in the process of being a human being.
That's you cannot lose it. Otherwise it just becomes a routine.
Exactly.
That's why I love what I do, because it will never become a routine.
This is not your business. This is your passion.
My hobby.
Everything.
I open my eyes to this. I close my eyes to this.
That's so awesome, man. You're living the dream, basically. Like, that's the ultimate thing, is to do what you love for a living, so it never feels like you're working. And you have accomplished that so far.
Thanks God.
Yeah, and
So far,
obviously,
so good.
what's coming up next with Monopoly and mixology. I mean, God's gonna definitely bless you in the right way, man. Because you seem like a good person, and as long as you keep that good heart, I know God is gonna continue to work in your life and get you to where you need to be at. Because you are very understanding of that, and you pay it forward. I think that's a beautiful thing, man. I got one more question for you, Julian, then we're going to get into the mastermind questions, which I showed you earlier. And I'm very curious about this because you are a smart businessman. Is there any other business you are interested in opening that doesn't involve service or nightlife?
I always like truck car wash. The truck car wash business I always love.
Really?
I was involved in the fitness center for a while as well. But I think one of the business that I would definitely open is a truck car wash. I actually like it.
Get out. Why do you like it so much? What's it
It's
about?
just one of my good friends. He owns a dealer for trucks, and we always talk about it, And I think that it's supply and demand, and the amount of trucks that you have. We're in the city of Elisa, where you got a port right next to it. I think it's a no-brainer.
Man, so that's something maybe down the line.
Yeah.
The garden truck wash.
Yeah. Why not?
The garden group truck wash. But that's awesome because now you're diversifying your portfolio.
Yeah, 100%. And then we're really conservative in terms of passive income. We do a lot of real estate, rentals. I love the rental income. I love the rentals. I think it's a great business. Outside of nightlife, I think that's my priority, which is passive income. Do things that
easy. It works for you.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely, because assets is what you want to, collect. You don't want liabilities. You 100%. Want things that are going to make you money, and you don't have to actually be there day to day, but you can manage it. And I think you've built this nice space where you have that with your nightlife, with the real estate, and hopefully with the truck car washing.
Hopefully, coming soon.
That is cool, man. That's really, I like to learn little things about that from people, because I would have never thought that from you.
That
you like truck car washing. That's freaking awesome, man.
It's a great business.
Yeah, so who knows? Maybe by the next time I see you, you'll have 5 of them.
You never know.
I love it, man. So we have a segment on our show called the Mastermind Questions, where we kind of ask you a couple questions. Not something crazy, but enough for you to get to know you better. So I'm gonna go through these now. You let me know what comes to your mind. My first question is, what book have you read that inspired you the most?
So there is a book. I used to have a negotiation class in Rutgers. There is a book called Getting to Yes.
Getting to Yes by who?
I don't remember the
I like that. You don't remember the?
I don't remember.
It's okay. But we'll Google it later.
So Getting to Yes is really interesting. The fact that it's basically telling you, like, listen, don't allow nobody to tell you no. And then in the gap of negotiation, you got to make sure you convince that person to say yes to you. So it's really interesting that, it will definitely teach you of how to negotiate, how to become a better, a better strategy in order to do that negotiation.
Roger Fisher. Okay, so it's Getting to Yes by Roger Fisher. Okay,
incredible book, by the way.
Really? I'm going to have to check that out myself, man.
Nice.
Now, has that made you very sharp in negotiations? Has that
he
book
gave me
helped
the guidance. He gave me the right guidance. I think the beauty of negotiation is just start. It's being honest basically, and try to accomplish a deal is basically it's the same thing. It's two sides of the story. You have a way to thinking. Let's get into a negotiation where you're happy and I'm happy as well. It's just basically just communication.
you? Love it, man. Love it, brother. But what person in your life has brought you the most influence?
I think Eddie G though.
Eddie G.
Yeah, he has.
I was gonna think
he has
that, yeah.
influenced a lot on myself.
And why is that?
He's like a father to me, man. That guy give me a hand when I need it, and he's always been there for me, And regardless if I'm doing good or bad, he always give me the right advice,
I see that from him.
One of the things that he always do to me was that, listen, I'm never gonna give it to you. You just gotta work for it. And in today's day, I appreciate that from him, where it really got me to become a smart entrepreneur versus just somebody that he couldn't give me a lot of those things, but he always got me to become a better person,
And if he gives it to you, you don't learn anything.
100%.
Is that the best advice he ever gave you?
Yeah.
Or what's the best advice he's ever given you?
I think that the best advice that he ever gave me is that the fucking guy is so humble, and it doesn't matter how grow or how big he has become. He's always been humble with a lot of people, and he's somebody that I do admire.
I respect that because I've had, big people on the podcast, and it wasn't, like how with Eddie G, when he was on the podcast, it's very humble. He has our longest episode, 2 hours. He was there with us for 2. I didn't expect that, but when we sit there, we have the conversation. He wants to help, and he's a man of the people, and I can see that humbleness, and I see it through you too, because I feel like part of being a good business man and being an entrepreneur is to be humble. No ego. You leave the ego at the door.
It doesn't take you anywhere,
Absolutely. If anything, it creates more walls versus you actually having, people together to help you. That's where the no ego comes in.
100%.
Love it, man. Are there any practical tips you can share that has helped your process in business and in life?
I think waking up in the morning, that's the key, man. I think that the hours that you don't take advantage of, they're gone every day and you're never going to get it back.
I agree.
You will never get it back. I think that the habits that you do every morning, I love to wake up in the morning. I think that part of the success is make sure you put those hours.
Absolutely, man. You got to seize the day. Because, in 1 hour, I can do what I see other people do in 1 week. So taking advantage of that is a very powerful thing to be in business and to know that time is money. And you have to take advantage of all that time to be successful.
100%.
Absolutely, man. What keeps you driven in life?
My family.
I love that. By family, you mean your mother, your father, your sister, you have
everybody,
sisters?
I'm a really family-oriented person. I think that life is just that's all you have. Bottom line, that family is the only loyal soul that you have around. In the good times, in the bad times, they're always gonna be there regardless.
Absolutely, man.
Sometimes you got battles, sometimes you got a little stupid fights, but at the end of the day, they've always been there, and they're always there to support me. All my family support me in everything that I do, and that for me, that's what I work for.
I love that answer, man. How proud is your family of you?
I hope they're proud.
I
hope so.
they gotta be excited, man, with all the stuff you're doing. You know what I mean? They have to be proud of you.
They're all part of my organization. They all work, in my organization. I think,
Nice.
my brothers, my father, my mother, they part of my team. So
I love it, man. That is beautiful, man, that you put family first above everything else, Have you ever had any vices, and how did you overcome them?
no, I don't think.
Cigarettes, alcohol.
Listen, I think that anything that you cannot control is poison. Even alcohol, And the type of industry that we're in, if you don't know how to control it, that's the biggest poison. I think that once again, we always want to drink. Everybody drinks. Everybody eats. Everybody does drugs. But if you do it into a level that you can control yourself, or if you do it for fun, is one thing. But when you actually make it a habit, that's a whole different level. But I don't think, I have nothing in a major scale,
You seem pretty well balanced for me. Like
You gotta have a stability, man.
Absolutely,
Stability
man.
is the key.
Absolutely, brother. You work out?
I used to.
Used to.
I don't have time
You're
anymore.
skinny, man.
I don't have time anymore.
What do you do as an outlet?
You know what
get
it
a-
is? I love to listen to music. I watch TV, man. I like to watch TV to have those 2-3 hours of relaxation.
Tranquilidad. Absolutely. Just get away from everything, block out the noise, and have that decompression.
30 minuticos.
That's it, bro. That's all we need. What does the next level of success look like for Julian Valencia?
I think that I want my infrastructure to grow. I think that the next level of success is that everybody that is my surrounding grow. I want to see all my bartenders, all my waiters become the next level or the next Julian. I want to make sure that whoever has those dreams or those dreams, I want to help them to accomplish. I think that's the achievement in life is that the people that is in your organization or is around you, they grow with you.
Absolutely.
You know, I think that God willing, that's my purpose in life. That everybody that is worked for me from when I was nobody, and now that we're growing because I still nobody. That they're there, or I can help them to grow.
Absolutely, man. That's a very wise way of looking at it. How old are you?
33.
Wow, you're 5 years younger than me. Holy cow, you're a young soul, man. But look at that, how you have like an old soul as far as wanting to help people. And I mean, you said 16 years ago you met Eddie G?
Yeah, around 16.
So you were like 16, 17 years old. Wow, man. And look what you accomplished so much. That has to be an inspiration. How does that make you feel? Like, do you take a second to look back and be like, wow, I did all this?
Yeah, you know what it is? Sometimes you don't even think about it. You just continue moving forward. I think that the past is the past and it's always going to be there. But, from the mistakes in the past, I just want to make the best out of it,
So, good way to answer that, man. What is the biggest mistake you've ever made?
I think it wasn't a mistake. I think that I should have went a little forward in education, I like school, I thought,
Okay.
having a master's degree or having a PhD is really nice in an organization. However, I don't think it was a mistake. I think God put me in a position. Eventually, I will go back to school. That's something that I have in my head.
Is that your bucket? Like that's on your bucket list? You want to finish?
I think so, though. I really want to do a master's. A real master on could be hospitality or could be something that now that we actually understand the business, maybe we can tweak it or change it or teach others.
I agree with that, man. Do you feel like in the 16 years you haven't gotten a doctorate in business?
I got more than a doctor.
You know what I mean?
Kobe got me more than a doctor. Kobe was.
I want to ask you that, man. That's a good question. I forgot to ask you that. How was COVID impacted your business?
You know what
man?
it is? Kobe, if you were weak, it make you stronger. If it didn't make you stronger,
You're not built for it.
Kobe was sad. Kobe was really sad for a lot of families, and for our business. I think it was the number one. I would say that we were, I guess, the number one business or institution or that it got more affected. I think hospitality. I think it was hospitality.
Service
and
industry.
I think service industry was the more
Absolutely.
affected one. And then we reinvented. We ended up reinventing the wheel. Sitting 6 people 6 feet apart. It was a really really hard.
It wasn't easy.
Learning experience, I would say. But if you were able to outcoming or whoever outcoming, COVID nowadays, it was a really, really, really nice learning experience. It might be have, I would say.
Absolutely, and it made you stronger as a businessman.
100%.
And now you became more resourceful in those times because you had to figure it out.
Either you do it or you do it.
I hear you, man.
Remember, I opened February 12th. They shut me down March 8th.
Yes, that's right. So the garden opened February 12th and March 8th mandate.
So the garden took me 2 years to build it.
Wow.
Then after 2 years, I opened February 12th, and then March 8th, they shut me down. I was open for less than a month.
I was here with my wife the first weekend it opened. I remember.
So of course,
Wow.
it was tough, man.
I know. That must have been. Oh my God, man! And the people you had to staff and
That's the hardest part. A lot of people doesn't realize that, damaging an establishment or calling the city or Corey or any or that doesn't really interfere to us as a businessman, it's about how many people you employ or how many families, direct or indirect, they live because of you or because of the place or because of whatever. From the garbage bin to the water to the gas to the cooks to the waiters to every infrastructure. My family.
Yeah, because your family is in the
of
infrastructure.
course, everybody in their mother though. A lot of people don't realize that, you know, sometimes the envy doesn't take you anywhere. And the envy because they don't do the work or they don't reinvent themselves. But it's not us, it's a whole team behind it. It's a whole infrastructure that it needs to do in order to put it together. It's not about Julian or how creative he is. It's whoever is behind him that is able to pull this off.
Absolutely, yeah.
Not only me, it's all those guys that are with me, you know, from 11 in the morning to 4 in the morning, because that's the hours of operation, basically, you know.
Absolutely, man. And then what about the days that you're not here till 3, 4 in the morning? And
That's why you have a team.
Trusted people that you can depend on, you know, that you don't have to be here physically.
Listen, if you had the right team, I don't care how many storms there will be there, you got the infrastructure, you got those solid steel with concrete that nobody can really touch.
Absolutely, man. I think the biggest thing you talked about all night tonight is that to be a successful businessman, you have to have the tight infrastructure and the tight team. But more than just the team, the camaraderie and love.
The foundation is the key of everything, man. Either you're a developer or a restaurateur or a marketing agent or anything. If you have the right infrastructure, the right foundation, and the right people behind you, you're always going to do good.
Absolutely, man.
In every sense in life, I think, you know, in love, in education, in everything. If you have the right foundation, you're always going to succeed.
And the humility, right?
Gotta be humble.
Yeah, and that strikes me about you in particular, because I have a lot of friends that I know for 20 years. Some of them are millionaires. I can't get them on the phone. I know them for 20 years. I just reached out to you a couple weeks ago. You answer my phone call when I call you. That means a lot to me because I'm in business and I answer every call I get. If I don't answer right away, I call you when I'm not busy. How important is that to you to be so responsive?
I think you gotta have respect for people, you know. Answering a phone call doesn't take you any, you know.
No te mata.
No te quitar nada, you know. At the end of the day, you gotta respect. And you never know what outcome you're gonna get out of somebody. Maybe we're here today, you will never know who you're gonna become tomorrow.
Absolutely, man.
Or vice versa, you know. So you really gotta be humble to people because you never know who that person is gonna become tomorrow.
That's a really big thing, and I like to highlight that because a lot of people don't think like that. They get too big, and the ego is too big. Oh, I'm not gonna do your podcast, or nah, I don't have time to sit down with you or listen to your business plan. But that's what hinders you from being more successful. You know, it's when you're humble and open. And listen, don't get me wrong. Sometimes being humble could be bad too in certain situations, but you have to see that coming. You know. I think
in life you gotta be smart. You know, you're gonna have the good, the bad days. You're gonna have the good people, the bad people. You're gonna have the people that wants to take advantage of you. You're gonna have the people that really want to help you, the people that envy you. You're gonna have it all. But if you start understanding how to live with it, you're always gonna be happy in life.
Understood. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, and don't hold any grudges. It is what it is. You move on to the next. I love it, man.
It's not mine.
Last question for you, brother. What's the last thing you purchased that changed your life?
The last thing that I purchased that it changed my life. Recently?
Yeah.
A 1954 F100.
Wow.
Which is gonna be the DJ booth for Monopoly.
Come on.
Yeah,
is that the? I think I saw that on your Instagram.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
So that's gonna be the DJ booth.
Yeah.
Holy cow, man, that's insane.
Yeah, it's gonna be incredible.
Wow. Are you a fan of cars?
I'm not a fan of cars. I think that looks trendy, and I like antiques. You know, I like old cars.
I got you. But that's gonna be crazy. Old antique cars, a DJ booth. I mean, how bigger can you dream, right? When you're thinking about Monopoly.
I'm thinking Monopoly is incredible, man. That game everybody loves for some given reason.
Is that why you called it Monopoly?
You know what it is? Monopoly. When you call Monopoly is basically that's the life. You know, it depends on what you want to accomplish and how hungry are you in terms to accomplish your dreams. And I think that the game will teach you how to monopolize yourself, how to, start getting strategies, how to start buying your own property, how to start buying your own places, how to, take care of the money. That's why the whole team about Monopoly, I love from it. But in the other end, Monopoly, the last 5 years has been really trending because on Island Monopoly, which is a Colombian really nice artist, so it's been changing.
That's right, yeah.
It's been changing the whole art, the whole culture, money, respect, women. Like it's really a nice concept with cartoonage. So the whole thing that we're doing is cartoonage. We're doing crazy burgers, crazy shakes, crazy dirty fries. Everything there is street food oriented.
Oh man.
Crazy drinks. So it's gonna be really
that is
interesting.
Gonna be awesome. And when does that open? When does Monopoly open?
So God willing, at the end of the year, I would say at the end of the year.
October, November?
I would say so. Right now, Mixology, I'm planning to open Mixology hopefully at the end of July.
Okay.
God willing.
Perfect.
Then we will do Garden, New York.
Okay. Staten Island.
Yeah. Then Monopoly. And then we have a little surprise coming soon to Miami. So
nice.
Hopefully that's gonna happen as well.
We can't talk about that yet.
Yeah, no, yeah. It's okay. It's coming soon.
I love it. So we're looking forward to Mixology end of July. Then we have Staten Island, the Garden, and we're gonna finish the year with Monopoly.
God willing, yes.
That is beautiful, man. So you got a lot going on right now.
Yeah.
It must be very, exciting, but also very stressful. But it's okay because with your personality, from what I see, you're going to grab the bull by the horns and do whatever it takes to be successful, man.
I hope so.
And that is awesome, man. So Mixology is up first. I can't wait to get my invitation to the ceviche bar and the guacamole bar. You're going to make my wife very happy, man. Well, Julian, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to sit down with us and to share your story, man.
And then, the sky's the limit,
Absolutely, man. Any final words you want to say to anybody out there that's listening that is just struggling to figure it out and wants to be an entrepreneur? Anything you want to tell them before we wrap up?
Listen, if you believe in God, it's good to pray sometimes,
Amen.
If you believe in yourself, go for it because nobody can tell you no. If nobody believes in you, you got to believe in yourself. And if you believe in yourself, the sky is the limit. Chasing the dream is not bad. That was the worst case scenario. If you fail, you got to do it again and again and again until you actually find the right path in your life. It's not about money. The more that you chase it, the less that you're going to have. The less that you chase, the more money that you will have. Same thing with everything else. The more that you want it, the less that you have it. When you don't look for it, it will come by itself. And if you do good, life is going to give you good.
You're right. And that's also doing God's work,
Listen, there is no envy. I want everybody to make money. I want everybody to be rich. I want my friends to be rich. That way they can lend me money,
You don't have to spend yours. Julian, that is awesome, man. Again, thank you so much for your time. I wish you nothing but prosperity and success with your businesses. And I'm excited to see Monopoly, Mixology, and the Garden New York come to fruition.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And, again, Godspeed and the best of luck. And thank you again for taking these few moments with us.
Thank you very much.
Brother.
Appreciate it.
You're the man. Thank you so much, man. That is a wrap on episode 014, episode 14 of I'm an Artist, Not a Salesman podcast. If this podcast inspired or moved you to follow your dreams or aspirations, please subscribe to our Apple, Spotify, and YouTube platforms by typing in Luis Guzman, I'm an Artist, Not a Salesman, and clicking the subscribe button. Please make sure to follow my Instagram handle, Luis Guzman 2444, for further content and updates. I am thankful for every listener, and I pray you have a blessed one, not a stressed one. Peace and love.
Thank you.